a nice ring to that name.
It's a good name.
And what happened to you, mate?
Well, 14 years ago, actually it was in March 2004, I was hit head-on in Newcastle by a lady driving her car. Lovely lady, didn't mean to do it, but she did it. And that resulted in me getting fractured vertebrae, C2-3 on the left, C3-4 on the right. Had C5 been fractured, they said it would have snapped my spine. I would have died at the scene. But praise God I didn't. I was taken to hospital and they proceeded then sometime after that to do operations on me to try and, what happened was in the accident, all my nerve endings got shredded and torn. And nerve endings started to, in my spine, started to grow in amongst all those spots where God never intended for that to happen. And then when I turned my head this way or that way or forward or backwards, I'd end up with these massive neck and headache pains. And if you've ever had a migraine, I don't know whether anybody's ever had a migraine or a bad headache, it's about 10 times worse than that. The pain was pretty bad. And I was on 4,100 milligrams of painkillers a day. And if you multiply that by 7, it's a lot of milligrams per week and over a year. And they conducted 35 operations on me called radio frequency burns, where they put these great long needles into your neck, about 6 on one side and 6 on the other side, about that far down into your neck.
Wow.
And they cannot see, I don't know whether you know it, but you cannot see nerve endings. There is no technology available in the world at this time to be able to see nerve endings. They're invisible to the naked eye and even to technology. One day they'll have it, they say, but not yet. So what they do is they put these electric needles into your neck and you're awake the whole time. They do give you a local anaesthetic, but if you've ever had local anaesthetic in your leg or your hand, it really hurts. Try it in your neck, it's crazy. Yes, someone's just going, ooh. It really does hurt badly. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's about a 22. It's very bad. So then what they do, the only thing they can do, because they can't see the damaged nerve endings, is to burn them away in a scattergun approach and hoping that they will hit something. And they've got to be very careful because they don't want to burn away important nerve endings that go to your brain and would potentially kill you. So it's quite a dangerous operation. So, all told, prior to John praying for me on the 19th of May, I've had 35 of those operations.
Wow.
It's a lot of operations. And then on the 19th of May, Kay and I had been trying to get to see John for a long, long time, and every time he came to Newcastle, I somehow seemed to miss it and didn't connect. But on the 19th of May, John and Julie came to Newcastle, and I was actually, I think, on the night, the second person at Raymond Terrace in Newcastle that John actually got to pray for. And he described my circumstances, my condition, right down to the dot. He won't remember it, but he did. And my wife said, "Go out, it's you, he's talking about you." And I said, "No, he's probably talking about somebody else." It was true. But he described every detail of what I had experienced for all those years since March 2004. And so Kate grabbed my arm and stopped my arm up. Husbands, listen to your wives. And I went out and John prayed for me. John got me to share the story like I'm sharing now. And then he said, "May I pray for you?" And he very gently touched the front of my forehead, the back of my head, and the moment he did that, God just did the most amazing thing. I began to shake and tremble. And I watched the video on John's website, and I couldn't actually see me shaking. But I don't know whether John could feel me shaking, but I was shaking like crazy. And I actually went, "Lord, I don't know what is going on here right now, but this is really weird. I need to stop this shaking. This is ridiculous." And I actually tried to stop shaking, and I could not. I could not stop it no matter how hard I tried. And then I suddenly realised, okay, this is not me shaking, this is God doing something. This is right out of the box. Right now I'm overwhelmed. And the moment John finished praying for me, mind you, I'd had no painkillers that day. I decided not to take any. Pain scale was about 8 out of 10, 10 being the worst. And John took his hands off and said, the moment he took his hands off, do you remember this? No. Took his hands off, I stopped shaking. And I mean, I really felt like I was really doing this. And he took his hands off and I stopped shaking instantly. And then the first thing he said to me was, "So, what was your pain when you came up here?" And I said, "About 8 out of 10. I took no painkillers today, deliberately, just so that I could see what God would do." And he said, "What's your pain now?" And I said, "It's 0. It's nothing." Amen. Thank you.
Jesus' name.